Hello, you guys. Paul Lutheran here, your ordinary Lutheran North Country guy, and we are here to get wisdom, eh? We're going to look today at Proverbs chapter 5, which continues these things that are kind of warming us up for the Proverbs in the real sense of the word, the little sayings that tell us things about life. And we get to hear more about Lady Wisdom. You remember that wisdom gets personified. So somebody takes something that is out there and turns it into, acts like it's a person so that you can talk about it in a different way. So this personification is Lady Wisdom. And she comes to us today in what's maybe the pinnacle of the whole section of Proverbs. And Lady Wisdom is saying to us, come and learn. And what I see here is that Lady Wisdom is down to earth, but also very high and lofty. So it's like at the beginning, she's in the public squares and on the streets and calling out to people like you and me and saying, come and learn, come and be wise. But by the end of the chapter, before we're at the end, she's saying things like, I was with God at the creation of the world. Because you got to think about that. The wisdom of God had to have been at work for all of this stuff to come into being. And so wisdom is such a great thing that you can start anywhere with wisdom, but you'll never get to the end of learning. It's kind of like the gospel. Any 3-year-old might understand that they have sinned and that Jesus has come to bring them forgiveness, and that they can pray to Jesus and ask for cleansing from their sins. And they might get that. And the same person can live to be 103, and they can spend their whole life learning about the gospel and never plumb the depths. And wisdom is like that. You can start now, wherever you are, whoever you are, to become more wise, but you can do it all your life through, and you will never get it so that you're not learning anymore, or else you would stop being wise, I think. So that's the biggest thing that I find in chapter 8. Now, sometimes you get this part put together with Jesus, because wisdom together with God at the creation of the world. And, there's language kind of like that in John chapter 1 about the second person of the Holy Trinity. And, I think it's somewhere in the letters of Paul, maybe 1 Corinthians or something. It says that Jesus is wisdom from on high. Maybe foolishness to people that don't believe, but for us who believe, wisdom from on high. And so Lady Wisdom is compared to Jesus, the incarnate wisdom of God, and the Word made flesh. That's a little much for me. I don't make the connection so easily, but I mention it. You'll probably see it if you're paying attention someday in when the scriptures are chosen for worship services, because in the lectionary, they call it, the reading series, it comes up that way, I think. For me, I just remember that I can start with wisdom where I am in my own ordinary down-to-earth place, and I can learn for all my life and never get to the end of it. And that's one of the beautiful things about wisdom. So let's get wisdom, eh? That's what I find in chapter 8. I hope I see you tomorrow. Now I need wisdom to figure out how to click. Every time it's so hard. There it is.